All right. Hi, everybody. It's evening now. Well, night. Happy Wednesday night, you guys. I love to say Wednesday. So I know I've told you all happy wealthy Wednesday. So again, happy wealthy Wednesday because guess what? We always win on Wednesdays. It's the midweek of the week. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful week so far. Welcome to His Legacy and Leadership. My name is Alicia Johnson, and I proudly serve as the membership director for the Greater Augusta Chamber of Commerce. In celebration of Men's History Month, we are also celebrating Men's Mental History Month, Men's in Business Month throughout the chamber, and also happy belated Father Day to all our fathers here for the month of June too as well. We are honored to spotlight some of our phenomenal men within the chamber who are making a lasting impact as business owners, entrepreneurs, and leaders in our community. Today, we are honored to spotlight Jeff Gaston. He is the CEO and founder of Blue Space Security. His dedication, his vision, and leadership represent the strength and excellence of men in business. We're excited to learn more about his journey, his inspiration, and the legacy he is leading and building through entrepreneurship. Everyone, please let's welcome Jeff Gaston. Jeff, how are you on this amazing Wednesday night?
I'm doing great, Alicia. I really appreciate that introduction.
You're more than welcome. We appreciate you, and I appreciate you so much for taking the time out for us to honor you on this wonderful night. So, thank you so much for being a member here of the Chamber. Can you let everybody know, Jeff, just a little bit about who you are for the ones that do not know you, Jeff, throughout the community?
Yeah, my name is Jeff Gaston. So I'm the founder and CEO of Blue Space Security. So live here in Augusta. Originally was from the Northeast, but been in Augusta for the past 6 years.
Love it, love it. I know you're still acquainted to here in Augusta. The weather is back and forth. We get all four seasons here, I think.
Yeah, hey, it's not, there's not as much snow as the Northeast. I don't want to wake up in the morning and shovel snow out of my driveway and off of my car. So we've been enjoying it here.
That's right. We shut everything down. When we see a little bit of snow, it's like, nope, the city's closed for the rest
And
of the
that's
day.
how I like it. I love that.
So, welcome to the South. That's how we do it in the South. I know when I lived out west for a little while, it was just like, nope, you still going to work and you still going to school. I
Right?
don't
It's
think,
just like, oh, you're
yeah,
trying to get your coat on and you just walk in like, oh my God,
yeah, and it would
freezing.
be
Like,
negative 20, where I was living at. It would be negative 20, it's freezing where I was at. And then it was just like, nope, you're still getting out there. And I'm looking at the people
and
like,
I,
are y'all crazy?
yeah. Hey, and I'm also a military vet. So, like, remembering all those times, 5 o'clock in the morning, we're wearing shorts and a t shirt, freezing. And like, then we
Yeah.
got to go for a 5 mile run. Yeah, not the cold for me.
Look, it's all about an experience.
Exactly. Oh, and too much of it. Now I need to be indoors when it's cold.
You done lived that life, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Sheesh.
Love it, love it. Jeff, I want to know, and they do too, what have inspired you to start your business?
So what inspired me is just a passion for like learning and kind of make the better world a better place. I've had a humble beginning. I've come very far, and I honestly, as a kid, I remember my goal was to make $20 an hour. That was it. I was like, hey, around like 30 or 40 years old, I made $20 an hour, and I'm good. I don't need nothing else, and like I hit that goal and I went past it. I was like, I was not dreaming big enough,
No,
right?
you're right.
And then like I was exposed to the Chamber of Commerce, a lot of entrepreneurs, and they just opened my mind to so many things, and that inspired me. And then I decided to proceed, go after that. And then just a passion for problem solving, being at these levels of leadership. We all only have 24 hours in a day, right? Like,
That's
and I
right.
could be the most productive, the most efficient person in the world, but at the end of the day, you got 24 hours. And so, really, for me to really have that level of impact that I want and the life that I have, I had to go into entrepreneurship, building a business, and lead. And so that really inspired me to get there, just around the people that I was, my goals and aspirations, my what I've achieved, and then understanding that I need to be able to think bigger and dream bigger.
That's right. Absolutely. I love that
Yeah.
you know, had a change of mind and heart, you know, too, as well. So that's awesome. Now, have you faced any challenges when you were starting the business, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Yeah. So the one of the big challenges I think for business is, well, there's a lot of them. I think being a CEO for a business genuinely, I think personally, requires a lot of personal growth,
Mm-hmm.
right? Learning how to trust people, right? Learning how to put certain things aside and learning how to reckon with ourselves as human beings, and like our maybe past traumas that we may have and not realize it, and then
Yes.
overcome that to be better leaders, right? So like, I still work. I think a lot of us still do like a full-time job, right? I'm actually still actually actively in the military. And so learning now like that I'm working, but then also having to figure out how do I still run my business requires me to, I can't make more time, hire people, and then hiring people to then trust them to provide that customer service, that care that I
Mm-hmm.
aspire to, and like having them buy into that, requires me to be trusting, right? Grow out of that. And so I think that that was a big challenge as well, beyond even the fundamental business things such as market entry, trying to see, hey, where does your business fit in the market? We read about
Mm-hmm.
all the things, the research and all of that, but when you're taking all those things that you read and applying it down to how we see the world based off our own experiences to practically how we do things, that those are steps for that too. Those present challenges. But the big fundamental things is, I think, really leadership and learning how to grow as a person and overcome things that I may not even know about so that I can effectively lead the organization.
Love it, love it, and I appreciate you being able to problem solve those challenges and get through those. So that's a big deal there.
Yeah.
Being able to figure that out and then still move forward and be prepared for the next one, because that's one thing we're going to go through as being a business owner is those challenges, but we got to have a solution to those, and that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I gotta know, and not just me, but what is one of your proudest achievements, you know, that you have
Ooh.
accomplished as being a business owner? That's right. The spotlight is on you. This is
Yeah.
this is all about you. So, you know, that takes a moment for you to look within yourself to just know what is one of those proudest achievements that you have accomplished.
Man, that is a tough question. That's a good question. I think when you actually deliver that value, I think is where it like really has been a big one. When you go from like, at a bottom, I think having a business is delivering value, which is, finding a solution or helping somebody with a pain point.
Mm-hmm.
People come in and they'll, like, for example, we work with a chiropractic firm where they're like, hey, we are bleeding money for this
Mm-hmm.
thing, right? And like, keeping their privacy to privacy, speaking like general terms.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then like seeing them struggle with it, express it, the emotional connections of it, because evidently, as I think, as human beings, we're emotional beings, and
Yes.
so hearing them express that, and then helping them, right, to find a way to solve that problem, and then seeing
Mm-hmm.
them like find that peace of mind, I think is very rewarding. I think also developing the people that are in my organization. I
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of people that come in like that. They're new to cyber. Some people may be new to cybersecurity, and they're like, how do I like? They may feel like they don't have what it takes, right? And like
Yes.
watching them grow and like seeing them overcome something that they never thought they could, or know how to solve a problem, or how to implement a programming like solution. Um, I don't know. It's very rewarding, So it's good to see people's journey and like invest in them, um, and see them grow. Because then that also evidently builds my business, right? It helps build the brand,
Yes.
helps build the community. Because like they'll continue to grow, they'll continue to gain more confidence, and they want to take on bigger and bigger challenges. Which I always tell my team that like I'm just the mouthpiece for Blue Space Security. Like they're the thing, Like if
Yes.
I, whenever we go to conferences, I'm like, I'm not gonna be like, look at me, I'm this wonderful person. I'm like, look at my team, look at
That's
this these people, look how much they can accomplish. Look at this, like we have this idea, like this was like whatever, and like now they're doing it, and they're doing it very well. And like I was telling my they are the organization. I'm just the mouthpiece. I'm just the guy that says a thing, and I'm like, yeah, like let's do this, and like they make it happen, and I'm like, whoa, like we all have some things that we just say like, yeah, well, like let's see. I'm cautious. I'm like, oh, that like, and they're like, yeah, no problem. Let's make it happen. It happens, and I'm like, whoa.
That's right. Blue space wouldn't be blue space without the rest of everybody else. Yes, that's right.
Yes. The people, like they are, they're blue space, honestly.
Yes, love it. Now, what do you feel like your legacy that you would like to create from the business or for yourself, your legacy?
Yeah, that's a great question. Something that like my long-term kind of goal and vision is really to go into nonprofit work and like education. So I had humble beginnings, like I mentioned before. I think every kid that I grew up around, everybody wants to be successful. I don't think anybody grows and comes into the world and say, I'm gonna be the worst human being ever. You know what I mean? Like, like we see the villains in the TV shows, they're like just evil for the sake of evil. Right. I don't think, it's comical. I don't think anybody decides to do that. I think we're just a product of our environment. And so
very true.
In the long term, I want to provide more opportunities to show people that, hey, here are the path to success. Because I remember one of the darkest parts, or I guess the most depressing parts of my life, is when I was in like 10th grade, and where like it like really hit me that we weren't really being invested in as kids to be successful. Like, I was like, man, what is after high school? Like, how do I be successful? And like I would ask, and everybody's like, go to school. And I'm like, that's expensive. I don't have that money. like I don't have the any of that. Like, cool. Like let's be practically for real. You're like, that's not feasible for me. And like I just felt like I was stuck. Like I didn't know. Like I wanted to be better. I wanted to be good, but I just don't. There was nobody guiding me there. And so it's really me trying to speak to that in the future and like speak to kids like, hey, like if you are motivated, if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to like, work hard, do your best, we're willing to provide the path to that success, right? We evidently, I think we want to help make the world a better place, and like we want to find the people who are motivated to do that and put in resources and invest into them. So that way, I could see, things grow. I could see them help society move forward, right? Help our city be better and all of those things. So I think that's a big picture thing for me is like going into nonprofit work, like even if taking my earnings from the business and investing back into the community and helping make things better.
That just shows the type of person you are, Jeff, and your upbringing and who you are, the legacy that you're looking to leave behind, to give to others and guide them along the way too as well. So definitely that just shows who you are, without even going into details about the type of person. I mean, I know, just from meeting you throughout the chamber here and the pour in that you give us and throughout the community. So that just speaks the volume there, Now, what advice would you give men on tonight, that are looking to start business or already in business, but what advice would you give young men and men in general some advice tonight?
Man, that's a great question. So it's like a twofold. So for myself, my approach to business was to be patient. It took me a lot to build to where I am, right? So I did it was challenged to figure out the route for college and all of that, but I ended up using the military to go into that, right? It wasn't easy, right? I remember my first semester in college, I'm like, man, this is going to be 4 years of my life. Like, wow. Like this is, and I'm like taking my test, my exam, my first computer science class. I'm like, I'm going to fail this. I'm like, oh man, like I just did all this work just to be failing this. And I wanted to give up. I wanted to it was tough. It was annoying. Like I was going through the emotional roller coaster over and over again. And I just kind of kept digging in and telling myself no, giving myself the pep talks, whatever I needed to see it through, and like be also patient with myself. I was going to make mistakes, but
Okay.
like trusting the process. I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and honestly, like college was the means to an end to get me to establishing that foundation to where I
Yes.
can afford to take more risks with business and like fail and fall on my face, but know that like I have at least a steady income, right? And it takes time to do that. It's tough. People are going to try you. People are going to test you. People are going to talk about you. People are going to try to make you fail, but just trust the process and like, get some mentors, get some support system. There are a lot of people out here like that want to help, right? There are a
Yes.
lot of people that want to be here to support and talk to you. Like you just got to ask them the questions. Honestly, you just got to go listen. I've been fortunate enough to where like I'm always like the person to go like, I see somebody who's doing a thing that I want to do and I go like, hey, what do you do?
Yeah.
And for the most part, everybody's going to share. Nobody's going to try to keep secrets. They want to share.
There
I
you
have a lot of
go.
people that are like, yeah. And like, there are some people that are going to like try to do stuff, but if you talk to enough people, you're going to figure out, okay, what
The
advice should I
difference.
follow? What I don't follow.
Right.
So I think be patient with yourself, be patient with other people. You know, we all going to need ways to express ourselves, and the emotional
Mhm.
outliers. Like I work out. That's a way to let out of my frustrations. I talk to people, have these conversations, and I process that, and I go right back into it. Right. I also give my patient with myself in the sense that like I'm not always going to like what I'm doing. I'll be honest, right? But I also think
Yeah.
I can learn to like what I'm doing and see the bigger picture, right? Like I think as human beings, we think we have to like we're conditioned to say, hey, do the thing that you love, but understand that the things that you love you can change. Like it's not static; it's very dynamic. So be patient with that. Like learn the thing that you're doing, be immersed in it, and do it well, and then allow it, have it help you establish that foundation. And then like
Mhm.
you making $100. Well, take 20 of that, right? Put it,
Yeah.
somewhere into a little business and see what happens, right? Like, and over time that will build and that will build. And next thing you know, have a profitable business. And where at one point, then you don't have to work that full-time job anymore. You just work on your business, you know? So I think it's patient. It takes time, especially when you have humble beginnings. You don't have, that foundation that's already there for you. You have to build it as you're going.
Yeah.
And it'll take time. It's frustrating because every time you're gonna look at other people and be like, yo, you have it. Why do you have it and I don't have it? What
Right.
like
What's
come
going
on? And then they're
on?
like, no, I don't. And like, it's a whole back and forth. It's okay. That I think is part of that process and helping you be a better leader is momentum. Keep doing it, you keep
Mhm.
doing it. Over time, things are gonna pick up. The next thing you know, you're gonna be running past that person that you were like, yeah, you had all that stuff, and they're gonna be looking at you like, why are you running past me? And it's just like you built that momentum.
Yeah.
It takes time. You got to be patient, but keep going. You got this. I think you can be there. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would have been a business person. Everybody would have been like raking it in, and everybody would have been good. But it's not easy, right? It takes time. It takes patience. So be patient.
That was the most the advice that you have given tonight, and I was sitting there just taking all of it in because it kind of hit home. And I know you said for the young men, and also for the men in business, but it felt home to me because my twins, they're actually, of course, they're in high school, but they're taking college classes at the moment now too as well, so they're doing
Mm-hmm.
a dual whammy. But one of the twins is currently in computer science. And I
Yep.
promise you, like some nights, for his engineering program. So some nights I just be looking at him like, Anthony, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, mom. But I can tell that, like something ain't right, but he's figuring it out. And Jeff, I'm gonna have to get him to get on a call. Y'all two can get on a call together so that way you can
Yeah, of
definitely just give him
course.
that advice, as a young man, as yourself, and just relaying that to another young man, because they definitely need that. Of course, not to say too much, but the kids, they do excellent, just for them being in college at the age that they're in. But like you say, having that patience with yourself. And I just reminded him the other night, and I was like, it's gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay. But he beats his own self up when he doesn't make a A or something. It can be a low B or a low A, and he fights himself. And I say, son, it's Okay, you're doing awesome.
Mhm.
So just hearing that advice tonight, Jeff, and I hope other men are listening in. I hope other young men are listening in too as well with that advice, because that was so phenomenal, and I appreciate that. And I'm definitely gonna relay that message and let him listen in.
Yeah, of course.
All all my boys, let them listen in, because that was definitely needed. And we definitely do have to remind ourselves to be patient with ourselves, because if you're not patient with yourself, then like you said, you're gonna stagnate your own self because you haven't given yourself that grace. So
Mhm.
just hearing those words again, as I had gave him the other night, when he was taking a quiz for that class. So computer science is not just hard for him, right, Jeff? It's hard for
Yep.
everybody.
Oh, yes, it is.
you know, and him being a teenager taking a computer science class, I mean, like, son, come on, don't beat yourself up too much, like give
Yeah,
yourself
yeah.
that patience. So I'm definitely gonna remind him that, and definitely get y'all two on a call together, so that way he can hear that not just from his mommy voice.
Mhm.
So amazing advice tonight, Jeff. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I hope everybody is not taking this lightly. Jeff is definitely give us some valuables tonight. He's definitely laying it all out. So, like he said, be patient with yourself. And of course, that was to the men, but also to us ladies. We got to be patient with ourselves when we're in
Everyone,
business
yep,
or whatever you're doing in life. Just be patient
yep.
and give yourself that grace. So, Jeff, so amazing. Thank you for that.
I'm
Um,
glad. That's good.
yeah. Now, I would like for us to get into the showcase of the business. Jeff, let them know what Blue Space Security is all about. Let them know how they can reach you. I have already added that in the chat, but let them know how they can reach you, and contact you, and all what Blue Space Security offers and what you'll all do.
Yeah, so Blue Space Security, we're cybersecurity and IT, and we've been dabbling, experiencing with AI and AI workflows. We have multiple demos. We are working on actually producing content so y'all can see how AI works, how you can integrate it into your business. My
Ooh,
technician, he's working on different demos. Some of the things, right? Like, as the executives and business owners, we have to be big picture people, and it's like there's a lot of work to do, right?
yes.
Big businesses, the executives are able to take the hats off. Hey, I have a COO, I got a marketing person, I got this, I got that. But as small businesses, like you're handling it all of it. So I
Right.
think AI is a very like small business friendly way of being able
Okay.
to take those hats off, and being able to focus on a bigger picture thing. So like we talked about working with, we have tools and workflows that allows call centers. So in other words, it allows your customers to book time on your calendar even after hours. So you don't have to be the one that's like picking up the call, getting your little notebook out, writing it in. I got this person here, and it's like, oh wait, no, I can't do this and do that. Like it can all manage that for you, and it can be integrated into your Google Calendar on your phone. So that way, you know what's going on every day, and it can automatically, change when people dates are. If they want to change their time, they'll do it for you, right? If you want to
Right.
block off some time and reschedule, as soon as you do that on your calendar, it could automatically contact all your clients for you, and it will reschedule them for you, right? And
Go.
so
I
those are
gotta
like
get in bit
simple,
with that.
yeah, and simple applications to it. And these are just simple applications. We are like able to consult, right? Having sit downs and understand, like, hey, how does your business work? A lot of people we talked to before, they're a little hesitant to do that. Like, oh, you're gonna try to steal my business. I promise you, I have no interest in creating more work for myself with that stuff. I'm strictly AI and like working with cybersecurity. Like that is my thing. I don't, I've talked to people who have home care agencies. And they're like a little hesitant. I'm like, you've gone to school for nursing. I've already gone to school for like computer stuff. I don't need to go back to become a nurse just to steal your business. Don't need any of those problems. Sorry,
Right.
like, some people produce like, makeup or anything like that. It's like, oh, I don't
Yes.
want you to steal my secret recipe. I have no interest in stealing a recipe for makeup and making it myself. Not at
Right.
all. And we want to know about your business just so we can know where we can add value, what things that we can add automation into. And it's not to replace people as well. Some people hear like AI, oh my God, they're going to try to replace this. They're going to try to replace this. No, it's not here to replace you. It allows your people, your workforce, to deal with more complex problems. AI is good at repeating things. It's doing things that are repetitive. But when you think about like, hey, what is a fundamental problem that is with your business? It's not intuitively going to think about certain things, right?
Mhm.
you have to be the one that thinks about, ooh, this sounds like a sales problem, or this sounds like a marketing problem. And here are the practical steps that I need to take to solve them, right? And like, or hey, this is a supply problem, this is a logistics problem. Those are big things that people can think about, and then you could use the AI to do the things, right? I always say too, people are like, oh, it's taking over entry level jobs. I'm kind of the mindset that a lot of companies and a lot of larger companies have already jumped the gun for that.
Yeah.
And I think this is also a benefit for small businesses. We're able to be a lot more adaptable because we're not large
Absolutely.
bears where, like, you got to do a lot to move to switch direction, right? It is momentum for larger businesses where they've gained a lot of momentum to go in that direction. And when you're trying to move that large of an organization, it takes a lot of resources. So, in other words, I don't think it's here to replace entry level jobs. I think it like increases the expectation for an entry level
Okay.
person, right? When you hire a person who is like your assistant, now instead of giving them a day to write you a paper or an
Hmm.
email for a client or reach out and cold call multiple clients, with AI, they could do that in like 30 minutes, 10 minutes, or even less, right?
Right.
Now you can expect more from them because they have all these tools. You also don't have to be as direct with them, right? When you have, because they could go ask ChatGPT things or
Hmm.
whatever LLM that you have that could train them. And you say, hey, I need you to reach out to clients. You don't have to specify, tell them, email them or cold call them or go talk to them in person. They could ask, hey, what does this person mean by this? And they'll tell them all the things they need to do. So that frees you up to focus more on bigger things. So those are the things that we're doing with AI, with cybersecurity as well. Small businesses are also say, hey, we don't have to worry about cybersecurity. There's no cybersecurity implications. Well, there are when there are compliance requirements. Maybe you're working in
Okay.
something that has HIPAA implications. If you break HIPAA rules, I was reading
Yes.
about an article with a company in New York. They got hit with a $400,000 fine for breaking some things with HIPAA, and that's not something that the business owner necessarily knew, right?
Okay.
And they had to also pay for additional things. That's now hitting for your bottom line, especially as a small business. You may not be able to afford that, right? When you have a very small profit margin, like it's
Hmm.
going to be hard to work with. And in my business too, we're a small business. We're not like trying to, people think cybersecurity, they think expensive. It's like, no, we're not trying to be expensive. We are growing our products and services, and like we are willing to work with people, right? Like some things we may not even have to necessarily doesn't have to be going to cost. I'm in a position where I can afford to like, take a more growth approach to certain problem
Hmm.
sets, and where we have a conversation that doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, now I'm charging you $1,000 an hour, for me
Yes.
to do certain things. So we could talk to you about cybersecurity. Hey, what are the implications? What are things you need to do, and how it's cost effective? Not everything costs money. There are affordable mechanisms for implementing, for lowering cybersecurity risk. There's things for IT as well for lowering the risk for that. And AI, there are tools that it's our job for us to show, hey, here's some workflows. Here's how we can help you integrate those so you can scale your business. So these are some of the things we do. You can contact us. We have a website, bluespacesecurityllc.com. We have our info page. Just send us a contact request. You can reach out to us using the
Yes.
Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce's website. My phone number is on there. My email is on there. Like everything is on there. We're on LinkedIn. We're on
Yes.
Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're here. If you need it, whatever you need, set up a call. It doesn't have to cost arm and a leg, or it doesn't have to even cost anything at all. And we have a conversation and we figure out how do we provide value? How do we help you out? How do you make your business successful? I, am invested in your success. Honestly, truthfully, if you
Love
succeed,
that.
you do well, you do a great business. That's like now I'm looking like, hey, yo, my business is doing great. Well, shout out to Blue Space Security. That's referrals for me. Like
Yes.
I want you to
Yes.
do well. I want you to grow, and like I'm willing to leverage my own business experiences to make sure that happens. Right? We are invested in your success. It's not a zero sum game. I'm not trying to see how much money I can make out of this. Like I
Hmm.
want you to be successful. I want to carve out. If we charge you $100 for something, I want to make sure you're getting $500 worth of value, right? Like I want you to
Right.
be able to turn around and say, I just made 500, 1,000, 2,000, or $10,000 worth of sale.
That's right.
Like
Speak it, Jeff.
serious, you know what I mean? Like putting the good things out there. I want
That's
that
right.
for you all. I promise that's what I want. It only benefits us. It benefits all of us. So reach out to us on the
Absolutely.
Greater Augusta Black Chamber Commerce's website, LinkedIn. We're here.
I love it. And like you say, everyone that is tuned in or going to tune in later, make sure you definitely reach out to them because
Yeah.
with the community changing, the economy changing, you're definitely needing
Yep.
that assistance with your cybersecurity. You're also needing that assistance with AI and just adapting to those different things that are changing and making the automated system. So you definitely need it. We all need it. Even if you already know a little bit about it, you still need it. So make sure you reach out to Blue Space and get that assistance that they're offering. They're very knowledgeable and has the expertise that we would need, to learn. We all need it. I know I need it. So I'm still learning as AI and automated systems are changing. What the business is growing, cybersecurity on my end too. So, um, like you said, because we don't think about those things. Like you said, with your company may being hit for a rule or breakage with the government or any type of thing, we don't look at it on that behalf. So those are things that we do need to look into by owning a business. So definitely make sure y'all reach out and get that advice, get the knowledge, get the support that they are here to give you all from Blue Space. Jeff, is there anything else you would like to add in before we close out on tonight?
Yeah, I appreciate the Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce. I appreciate y'all. It's my second
Oh,
call, and I enjoy these conversations. Y'all have been doing great things for the community, and we all appreciate y'all and everything you do. So thank you,
no, we
and thank you
appreciate you
everyone who's tuned
all.
in.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you all. And I definitely appreciate you taking that call and taking the time out on us to spotlight you on tonight and honor you tonight. So we definitely appreciate you. Definitely do. Um, Everyone just that is tuning in, there is a lot happening for the month of June and July. For June, we do have a business flood that's coming up. So please come out and support Cliffisms on July the 30th. They're starting at 12 o'clock p.m. on next Tuesday, July the 30th. Also, Men in Business. We are open and we have a luncheon scheduled for you all, and that's happening on July the 18th. If you have not already signed up, please sign up. That is open to all men that are in the CSRA. So not just members of the chamber. You're more than welcome if you're not a member. Even if you're not in business, you don't have a business, please join in on that luncheon so we can celebrate you through Men's Month this month. So that's on July the 18th. That is a Saturday. And there's a lot going on too. So just make sure you tune in. We have several different events. So please make sure you tune in at mygabc.org and check out the different events on the calendar that we have coming up and also your emails. So sign up for emails if you're not receiving those. And we appreciate Jeff tuning in on tonight. So y'all have heard from the amazing Jeff Gaston. He is the CEO and founder of Blue Space Security LLC. So Jeff, we appreciate you so much too as well. And you can definitely reach out to him. He is open. He's reachable. His phone number is 706-418-6127. You can reach them on email too as well, which is Blue Space Security LLC.com. And their website, the same, Blue Space Security LLC.com. So make sure y'all reach out to them. We all need that support. We all need that knowledge. We all need it. So like you said, just don't get scared when you hear the word cybersecurity or AI. They're here to support us. They're here to guide us for those that are in business or looking to get into business. So make sure you reach out and get that services that are needed. We appreciate everyone. Jeff, again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you all for joining in on His Legacy and Leadership, where we're celebrating men of the Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce who are leading with vision, building legacies, and inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs. Everyone have an amazing Wednesday night. It is midway. We have made it through the midweek. So everybody finish having an amazing week and allow the sun to continue shining on you all throughout the community and the CSRA. Thank you all, and you all have an amazing and wonderful night and week.